with intra-African trade at around 15% compared with 54% in the North American Free Trade Zone and 60% in Asia. African markets remain highly unintegrated according to the African Development Bank. With this in mind, the AfDB is announcing the creation of a special agro-industrial processing zones despite the fact that Africa has the absolute comparative advantage in food products compared with other continents. The AfDB, in association with its bilateral and multilateral partners, has disbursed $1.5 billion to establish 25 special agro-industrial processing zones in 11 African countries.
Particulièrement heureux et très honoré de la présence parmi nous de vos excellences.
Africa needs to export agricultural raw materials, and we have recognized that if we want to move towards the end of poverty, we have to note that we have to export agricultural raw materials, but if we want to prosper, we have to export processed food products, and that's why we need to have adequate infrastructure for the development of agro-industrial sector in Africa. We need to set up food processing companies in these areas. We will be able to make economies of scale, but also improve productivity.
Et dans toute l'Afrique, pour faire souffler le vent dans les voiles des investissements.
According to the multilateral institution, many African governments are not working enough in the private sector to improve and develop regional infrastructure or to improve policies relating to industries adapted to the capacities that could boost this integration. For Oyebanji Olairan Oyeyinka, Special Advisor to the AfDB President on Industrialization, African countries' structures need to be modernized and changed, accelerate agrarian transformation.
Du point de vue développement, ces zones constituent
From a development point of view, these zones are industrial strategies designed to accelerate agricultural transformation and modernize farming techniques, which will result in higher productivity, greater economic efficiency, and more efficient geographical zones. These will also help to mobilize public-private economic partnerships, not just in terms of financing, but also in terms of skills and knowledge.
non seulement d'un point de vue financier, mais également concernant les compétences, les connaissances.
Since 2017, the bank has launched special agri-industrial processing zones to address Africa's need for more resilient agricultural supply chains in the face of rising fertilizers and food prices. The initiative aims to reduce Africa's dependence on food imports. The special agro-industrial processing zones bring together the production, processing, storage, transport, and marketing of products such as cotton, cocoa, and cashew nuts in areas with high agricultural potential for development and growth.
Le monde devient plus africain. Avec une population de 460
These areas will increase incomes. Instead of African cows being exported live, we will be exporting beef, and that will change our way of life. Thanks to these processing zones, we will have an infrastructure that will enable us to use African land to produce
continentale africaine représente un marché consolidé de 3,4 billions de dollars.
The African Development Bank has already committed $853 million to develop more than 2,000 special agri-industrial processing zones in 11 countries. These zones are currently being implemented in Côte d'Ivoire, DRC, Ethiopia, Guinea, Mali, Madagascar, Liberia, Mozambique, Nigeria, Senegal, and Togo.